Hey you guys, welcome back to the Sports Stuff video. Today we're talking about the Chicago Bears and my offseason plan to get them over the hump in Caleb Williams' rookie contract with Ben Johnson at the helm. So if you guys enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into the video. So no major changes at coordinator. Declan Doyle does walk away to another team, but overall nothing too important happens. So no coaching talks to talk about. Starting off at cuts and or trades. Currently at a negative $6.4 million, so not a great number to be at, but this team has a lot of options to get out of that negative $6.4 million. Next year, positive 68. The year after, it's positive 288. So, you currently are in your 2-year window to try and win a Super Bowl on Caleb Williams' rookie contract with all the guys around him right now. So we're going to do all we can to really go into that window and make us successful. So, first off, I'm going to be trading DJ Moore. So DJ Moore last year had 50 receptions, 682 yards, and 6 touchdowns. He's still a very good wide receiver. I just don't think the Ben Johnson scheme and Caleb Williams and how they run the ball, how they throw the ball around, everyone around the team, I don't think it's a great fit for him. I think you can get a lot for him in a trade as well. Rome Odunze and Luther Burden make him expendable. I think Luther Burden in year 2 was going to take a step forward. I think Rome Odunze in year 3 is going to take a step forward. And I do believe that those are going to be your wide receiver options for the future. He does everything you want in a wide receiver one. Great route runner, great hands. Can take on those one-on-one abilities and make the most and get separation. And I'm going to trade him to the Tennessee Titans because I think him and Cam Ward would be best friends. So Chicago, they're going to get a 2026 third-round pick, number 66 overall, and a 27 fifth-round pick. And Tennessee's going to get DJ Moore. The reason we do the trade, we can open up $24.5 million in cap space. That's an awesome number to open up with one trade, and also you get a third-round pick back, a top 70 pick, so it's towards the top of the third round. Obviously, since at 64 is the end of the second, so it's the top of the third round, almost a second-round pick. And I do think you could probably flip that for more assets if you want to, but we're gonna hold on to it. We're gonna go to the draft. The draft's one at 66. But DJ Moore, he gets the opportunity to go to a team where he can get force-fed the ball by Brian Dable as the offensive coordinator, and he gets to help Cam Ward develop a gunslinging quarterback. I do think that'd be a great fit for him. He gets a new, fresh scenery, and on top of that, gets the targets and the money that he really wants in the long term. Next is gonna be Tremaine Edmonds. I did not fix the image. That's embarrassing. First is gonna be Tremaine Edmonds. Tremaine has been allowed to seek a trade. He is 28 years old and a really good linebacker, but he has been allowed to seek a trade by the Bears. Last year, had 85 tackles, 2 sacks, 42 run stops, 10 pressures, and 4 interceptions allowed. Wow. And 4 interceptions. He's a valuable linebacker. He's a Mike linebacker in this defense. I'm a little confused why they want to move on from him. Maybe it's because they think Noah Sewell showed they can replace him this year. He was hurt in key moments last year. That's when Noah Sewell was able to step up and show that he had something in him. Get a few picks to get cheaper on the team while you still keep a viable, treasure trove of draft picks. So Chicago, they're going to get a 2026 6th-round pick, number 215, and a 27 third. So, and the Dallas Cowboys get Tremaine Edmonds. Don't know why it says DJ Moore, but they get Tremaine Edmonds. Dallas Cowboys. They get their Mike linebacker that can really helm this defense. In case they don't get Sonny Styles or Arvell Reese, this is the guarantee that you have a guy at linebacker that you can rely on. Then hopefully in the draft, the Cowboys can go and get their linebacker over the future. But Tremaine Edmonds allows to be competitive right now. All the Cowboys have to give up is a day 3 pick this year and then a 2027 third next year. I think they want to keep as many of their first and second round picks as possible. So I think they'd be more willing to trade future thirds and this year day 3s to get a linebacker. And I also think anyone else would be trading a lot for him. I think the Cowboys are desperate. The Bears, they save $15 million in cap space and they can just move on with Noah Sewell at the Mike linebacker. Next would be cutting is DeAndre Swift. I think this would be happen very quickly. This year, he had 1,087 yards, 9 touchdowns, 4.9 yards per carry, 299 receiving yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. He's just done a great fit in a Ben Johnson offense. Now, while he did improve from his first tenure in a Ben Johnson offense, I just don't think I don't think it's gonna work out. He has limited vision, so the explosive plays don't really happen while he's the one on the field. It's just he just turns out good yards, consistently. But there's no big explosive plays out of him. He's more of a running back 2 in a tandem system than he is a lead back around the NFL. We'll get looks at free agency, definitely a bell cow running back. Definitely a tandem back that is going to be able to get used elsewhere. I just see him as a bell cow, and Kaminungai did win that role for me this season. I think there's a lot more in him as a bell cow running back than DeAndre Swift, and he had better vision, better explosiveness, was more physical. I think with more carries, Kaminungai would have overtaken DeAndre Swift's numbers. So we're going to cut DeAndre Swift, save $7.5 million in cap space, and Kaminungai gets that main look as the running back 1 next season. Then some restructures. We can restructure Montez Sweat, open up $10 million more in cap space. Montez Sweat is not going anywhere. He is our number 1 edge rusher as of this moment, so we want to make sure he's extended for the long term. But we're going to restructure it, save $10 million, and, just open another $10 million. So now with the re-signings and extensions in 2026, you're at positive $50 million. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, there's a lot of guys that we're going to be extending, a lot of guys that we'll be reworking contracts of. So let's just talk about it. First off, we're going to re-sign Jaquan Brisker. He is a free agent this year, but Jaquan Brisker is too important to what this defense was doing last year. Last year, he had 69 tackles, 1 interception, 21 run stops, 4 pass breakups, 11 pressures, which was 8th in the NFL at safety, and 1 sack. He's a do-it-all safety for this defense. He's their chess piece. He blitzes, he defends the run and the pass, he gets pass breakups, his hands are constantly in passing lanes. This is someone that I just don't think you can lose in free agency. Otherwise, another team is going to get a playmaker. He really came to his own this year under Dennis Allen, and I do think they want to build on that for the future. So we're going to give him a 4-year, $66 million deal, $48 million guaranteed at 72% guaranteed. He gets that big-time money, top 10 safety money. And again, he's only 25 or 26 years old. He's entering his prime right now, and I do think you need him for this run you want to go on in the next 3 to 4 years. Next is going to be Theo Benedict. Theo Benedict was an undrafted free agent, so he's going to tender his contract. Last year, he had a 57 PFF grade, 55 pass blocking, 67 run blocking, 7 penalties, 2 sacks allowed, and 576 snaps, so not even starting snaps. He's a starting caliber left tackle for $1 million. That's a historic steal. He started out the season as a starter, and as the year went on, as other guys got healthy, they gave Ozzie Trapillo a chance. They gave Karan Amadaji a chance, Braxton Jones. I just say that Theo Benedict was the best one of that bunch, and I want to get him on a 1-year, $1 million deal. Rookie UDFA beat out multiple vets to earn the spot. Still a developing player, so while there's gonna be hiccups at left tackle, it is absolutely something that I'm willing to develop him at left tackle for dirt cheap. Struggled with penalties, definitely 7 penalties his rookie year, but I'm gonna give that up. I'll give a lot of that to that he's a rookie. It's first year in the NFL as an undrafted free agent. You're more nervous than a first round pick is. I'm gonna run him out for $1 million, and at worst, you get a great backup for the long term. So $1 million to get Theo Benedict back at left tackle. Next is going to be Noah Sewell. Noah Sewell last year had 42 tackles, 0 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 20 run stops, and 3 pressures. He's going to be taking over for Tremaine Edmonds, and he showed skill when Tremaine Edmonds was out sporadically. He's a good run defender. I want a full offseason of him as a starter, and hopefully he makes that next step jump. But before he makes that next step jump, we are going to get him extended just so we can guarantee that we have him for a good number in case he does make that jump. We're going to sign him to a 3-year, $15 million deal, $9 million guaranteed at 60% guaranteed. So he gets a lot of money up front for, 1-year production. We get him on a team-friendly contract. So at worst, he's a valuable backup linebacker. We could draft someone and they can take the mic from him. Or at best, we have a starting Mike linebacker for the next 3 years on a very good number, under $5 million averaged a year, with a $6 million signing bonus. That's something I'm willing to take. We drafted him, we developed him. I think we want to keep him at that Mike position. Next, we have Gervon Dexter at D tackle. Last year, 28 tackles, 7 sacks, which was 9th in the NFL at D tackle, 0 forced fumbles, 20 run stops, and 38-9 pressures. He made the jump into one of the elite young D tackles in the NFL. Great pass rusher. He stops the run, effectively, and he does get after the quarterback. I want to lock down a cornerstone piece of this defensive line. There's been rumors they might trade Gervon Dexter. I don't know why. Why would you want to trade him? He's a good D tackle. All you need to do is just upgrade this defensive line around him, and he's going to be able to shine even more. So we're going to give him a 4-year, $48.5 million deal, $31.5 million guaranteed at 65%. So only averages out to about $12.5 million a year. That's a great number for a starting D tackle, especially one who's still young and developing. I'll be blunt. I'll be blunt about what this video is going to go into. I upgrade this defensive line heavily. So Gervon Dexter is only going to get better from what he is right now because of the improvements I'm going to do to this roster. So I want to sign Gervon Dexter for $12 million a year, get him on a good number for the next 4 years. So while he's developing into his prime as an even better run stopper and can maintain that 5 to 10 sacks as a D tackle, it's going to be a steal in a year or two. So Gervon Dexter, 4 years, $48 million to lock him up for the future. Next is going to be a big-time deal in Darnell Wright at right tackle. Last year, he had an 82 PFF grade, 74 pass blocking, 86 run blocking, 11 penalties allowed, and 3 sacks. He's a great run blocking right tackle. This is a cornerstone piece of this offensive line. He developed into a great pass blocker too. Definitely is still developing, but at the minimum, I want to lock up a franchise tackle while I still can for a cheap number. You know, these franchise tackles are going to be making $25 to $30 million here soon. So let's get Darnell Wright on a 4-year deal really, really early. Ignore the fifth year option. Let's just get him signed for the long term. I'm going to sign him to a 4-year, $75 million deal, $37.5 million guaranteed at 50% guaranteed. So a $21 million bonus, signing bonus. The only reason it's under $20 million. Darnell Wright has had a sack issue his entire career so far. Year 1, he allowed 7 sacks. Last year, he allowed 11, I believe. This year, he allows 3. So it is getting better, right? It is getting better under Ben Johnson. He's using him correctly. But I want to get him extended right now. And you can still pitch to his agent, hey, yes, he is improving in year 3, but we want to get him locked up for the future on a team-friendly number. And he gets a lot of guaranteed money. But if he stays the exact level he is right now, he's not one of the top 5 tackles in football, but this is a great number to get him on. He's happy. The team's happy. He averages out to about $19 million a year. That's good money for a right tackle, especially one who only had one really good year of his 3 so far. I think it makes a lot of sense, and Darnell Wright and the team, they get their money. Next, we have TJ Edwards. Why is Derwin James there? I don't know. But TJ Edwards, linebacker for the Bears. Last year, he had 48 tackles, 1 sack, 24 run stops, 7 pressures, and 1 interception. He's a valuable vet linebacker. This is someone that plays a role really well. Knows, he really does live and breathe that Chicago culture. Great in coverage and run defense. He allows the team to draft someone and develop behind him. So you have Noah Sewell at Mike linebacker. Now you can draft someone and develop him behind TJ Edwards. Whether it's this year or next year, you draft and develop him. We're going to give him an extension. We're going to rework his contract. So currently, he's on a 2-year, $21.5 million deal with only $8.25 million guaranteed. So we're going to rework that contract to give him a little bit of a pay raise, give him a new extension to a 3-year, what was that number? 3-year, $35 million deal, 21 3/4 guaranteed at 62%. So he gets another $13.5 million guaranteed and a pay raise. So we lower our cap hit this year, but he gets that pay raise, averages out to about $12 million a year. Currently, he's going to be only average 10.8. He gets a $1.2 million bonus and more guaranteed money. So it makes no sense for him not to sign this contract. He's in Chicago for the long term. He's the linebacker that we're relying on next to Noah Sewell. Because he's cheaper, knows how to play the role, and I just think that if you're going to move on from Tremaine Edmonds, you can't also move on from TJ Edwards within the next year. So heading free agency, we're at positive $47.8 million, which is a great number considering you extended your D tackle, right tackle, and safety. You're still at about $50 million in positive money in both this year and next year. So that's great. That's an awesome feeling that you got all those guys extended for the long term and you still have about $50 million. But in free agency, I'm going to make some big splashes. Because we need to bolster this defensive line, and how else to do it besides Trey Hendrickson? So I decided to sign Trey Hendrickson. Last year, 9 tackles, 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 11 run stops, and 23 pressures. Edge has been neglected since this team's Super Bowl run back in the early 2000s. Khalil Mack obviously was really great, but this is an all-in move, right? This team is ready to win if they can get a premier edge rusher. We're signing Trey Hendrickson. Get the best edge on the market right now. It's a big win now move. He has a high motor, top 5 edge when healthy. He missed half the season last year, but most importantly, he's reunited with Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator. I have another person reunited with them, but Trey Hendrickson and Dennis Allen know each other. Dennis Allen helped develop Trey Hendrickson, and I do think he's going to go to either the Colts or the Bears, whatever team he wants to go with. Obviously, Lou Anarumo is a defensive coordinator for the Colts. His defensive coordinator in Cincinnati, and his defensive coordinator Dennis Allen is in Chicago. I think one of those 2 teams he's going to go to, someone he's worked with before, because he needs to make a big payday and also needs to get the most out of that payday and try and win a Super Bowl. So I think he's going to come to the Chicago Bears on a 2-year, $50 million deal, $37 million guaranteed at 74% guaranteed. He fits right in that 4-3-5 defense as that edge rusher. I think it makes so much sense to get Trey Hendrickson. You immediately upgrade your pairing next to Montez Sweat. Gervin Dexter becomes even more open as well in those lanes. We saw with the Cleveland Browns, when you upgrade a defensive line around a really good edge rusher, the team gets better. So Trey Hendrickson is walking into a situation where he has Montez Sweat. He has Dale Odeyingbo coming off an injury, Gervin Dexter, Grady Jarrett, Shamar Turner. That's a really good young defensive tackle room. Obviously, Montez is 30, Grady Jarrett's like 33, but he can come in and immediately elevate that defensive line to a really good level. So we're gonna give him that 2-year, $50 million deal and bet that he's going to be healthy again next year. And speaking of guys who have been with Dennis Allen and we're betting on being healthy next year, I'm going to sign Marshawn Lattimore into a really cheap deal. Marshawn Lattimore last year had 22 tackles, 1 interception, 5 run stops, and 5 pass breakups. He just got cut from Washington today. I think it makes a lot of sense for why Washington would cut him. It didn't work out in Washington. He tore his ACL, so now he can recover slowly for his comeback. Washington is already paying him. I believe it was $19 million in guaranteed money. So I think wherever he signs, he's just signed for dirt cheap. And why not come to where he knows best, right? Dennis Allen and Marshawn Lattimore had their best years together. Marshawn Lattimore is trying to remain in the NFL. I don't think there's any other team in the NFL he's going to besides the Chicago Bears. He struggled since this trade. A lot of teams, I don't think are going to want to touch him, but Dennis Allen and Marshawn Lattimore, I do think are going to pair back up. The Bears, they need another boundary corner, and not even a starting boundary corner, just a body, and Marshawn Lattimore needs to prove he can be in the NFL still. He's only 29 or 30 years old. There's still 3 or 4 years of NFL body play in this guy, so if anyone's able to get that out of him, it's going to be Dennis Allen this year in Chicago. So for his career, I think he needs to come to Chicago and kind of ride the bench, because the Bears, they do run a 4-2-5 defense, so a lot of guys are going to get tired. A lot of guys might get injured, so he's to get playing time this year. So I think it makes a lot of sense for him to recover in Chicago. Then some other signings. Troy Reader at linebacker. This is a backup Mike linebacker behind Nephi Sewell, behind Noah Sewell. Austin Corbett, backup veteran center behind Drew Dahlman. Just a backup. Graham Glasgow was just cut from the Detroit Lions as well after 7 years with the team. So I think Ben Johnson isn't want to grab Graham Glasgow, have him be the backup guard to Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson, be that swing guard in case one of them get hurt. You know he had Graham Glasgow. He knows the Ben Johnson system. I think it makes a lot of sense. Durham Smythe returning for another year. He was with the Bears last year, so he's going to return as that tight end number 3. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, I want to add a boundary receiver. If you think of veteran boundary receivers, you think of Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Sterling Shepard, I want to add a slot receiver, a true slot receiver. He had a really good year in Tampa Bay this year, so I think he still has some juice in the tank, so we can have him come over to Chicago, be our slot receiver. Then Rayshawn Jenkins, free safety, strong safety versatility, great run defender, great special teams guy. And this team, I think they're going to lose Kevin Byard to free agency, so if you can get Rayshawn Jenkins to be that veteran in the room, I think that'd be very important for them. So that's all my signings. So enter the draft, you're at positive $17 million in cap space this year. In 2027, you're at positive 18. Obviously, with extensions and restructures and cuts next year, you can get to that $40 or $50 million number. And in 2028, positive 243. So great numbers all around for a team that definitely is ready to win a Super Bowl. And I think the moves I made in Marshawn Lattimore shoring up that corner depth and Trey Hendrickson coming over and be that starting edge, I think that's enough to get this team over the hump. But with the NFL draft, we're going to add even more talent to that room. So what I do in the NFL draft is at round 1 at number 25, I'm going to grab Keith Abney II from Arizona State at corner. Keith Abney, he's my sneaky first round pick corner. I think him and Chris Johnson could both be round 1 corners. And the Bears, I do think they need a corner for the future. Both Jalen Jones and Tariq Stevenson are not signed long term. I think Keith Abney could come in, compete with Tariq Stevenson at that opposite corner position for starting. He's a ball hawk. He attacks the ball midair. I think Dennis Allen would love a ball hawk like this guy. Great man corner, great press man corner. He got better every year of his college career. He's 6 foot 190, only 21 years old, so he's very young, ready to learn. And I think the Chicago Bears would love his tenacity in the passing game. Then in round 2, number 57, I'm going to have edge Danny Dennis Sutton. He's one of my favorite edges in this class. He's a high upside pass rusher. He's 6'5", 265. He consistently produced at Penn State, no matter the talent around him, whether it was Chop Robinson, whether it was it Kayvon Thibodeau? No, Kayvon Thibodeau. Was he a Penn State guy? I can't remember. But no matter the talent around him, Danny Dennis Sutton was always a consistent guy for him. 22 sacks the last 3 years. He can be in the rotation more as a consistent edge rusher than he is a starter. I don't think he's a boom or bust guy, just a consistent guy. Might be able to get 5 or 6 sacks a year for his career. And that's a good number to get in the second round for a team that just desperately needs more edge production. Then with number 66, that pick he got from DJ Moore, I'm going to grab running back Jonah Coleman from Washington. Jonah Coleman, he bolsters a run game alongside Kyle Monangai. Monangai is more a physical runner, with Jonah Coleman being the elusive pass catcher. If you want to, he could be the bell cow to Monangai as being the backup, but I think Monangai is going to get the nod because he was here last year. great downhill runner with speed. He runs routes really well, good pass blocker. He's that prototypical third down back, but I think he's better than that. I do think that he can be a true bell cow in the NFL. And so if him and Monangai are battling out in training camp, I think it's a very real chance that Jonah Coleman would win with his speed, elusiveness, his vision would be really good and after contact. Then at round 3, number 89, I'll grab Antonio Williams from Clemson. Antonio Williams, I think long-term, Luther Burden's going to move outside, so that allows Antonio Williams to move inside. He's 5'11", 5'11", why am I not seeing it? I think he's 5'11", 210. He was great out of the slot last year at Clemson. He had 600 yards and 4 touchdowns last year. And over the last 2 years, 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns out of the slot. He ran a 4.4 140 with a great vertical as well. He's very athletic. I also think he can be a returner. I think you got a returner right here in the 3rd round. Your starting slot receiver. I think he has great vision, great burst. I think he'd be a really good returner in the NFL. So the Bears get 2-1 in the 3rd round. Then in round 4, number 129, I'm going to grab a linebacker, Aiden Fisher from Indiana. Aiden Fisher, 6'1", 231. The frame does lower his stock a little bit, but he's a great thumper at linebacker. He's a sure tackler. He's another depth guy with some upside. He did anchor that national championship linebacker core at Indiana, but at worst, this is a high-end rotation guy, and at best, it might be able to someone that could start after TJ Edwards leaves this team. Then in round 5, number 163, I'm going to grab Bishop Fitzgerald, the free safety from USC. Fitzgerald, it's a solid shot at a starting free safety in round 5. I think he has everything he needs to be a starter. He does live and die by the turnovers, which again, Dennis Allen loves. He had 5 interceptions and 4 touchdowns allowed last year. He's a little slow. I thought he'd test a little better at the combine. He did run really slow, and sometimes on tape you can see that. But he had 50 tackles each of the last 2 years. He doesn't need to improve as a run defender, but when you have Jaquan Brisker and Rayshawn Jenkins, at least Jaquan Brisker for the long term, Jenkins for this year, those are good run stoppers. I think they could teach Bishop Fitzgerald a lot just by him watching them play. Then in round 6, 215 from the Tremaine Edmonds trade at 215, I'm gonna grab wide receiver Caleb Douglas from Texas Tech. Great body, great frame as a boundary wide receiver. 6'4", 205. It's another big body, deep threat to add to this room. Not really a jump ball guy. He's definitely more of a deep threat route runner. Good ball skills. The last 2 years, he has 1,700 yards, 15 yards per reception, and 13 touchdowns combined. So this is a true deep threat, big body guy for the Bears downfield. Kind of Rome Odunze 2.0. Someone that can replace what he does if Rome misses time or needs some, take a rest for a few snaps. Caleb Douglas can come in and immediately take over for his snaps. Then in round 7, number 239, I'm going to grab safety Lewis Moore from Indiana, another free safety. Last year, he had 6 interceptions to 1 touchdown allowed. I'm telling you, Dennis Allen loves turnovers. Lewis Moore and Bishop Fitzgerald are turnover machines. He was a great pass defender as well. He's only 5'11", 200, but tape shows good ball skills, and I do think he could be a late-round hit depending on the scheme. So what I'm betting on for the Chicago Bears is you have Rayshawn Jenkins as the free safety, strong safety hybrid. Then Lewis Moore and Bishop Fitzgerald are going to battle it out for that starting free safety role. I'm letting a rookie start. I'm going to say it right now. I am letting a rookie start free safety because I need to get this team younger and more experienced immediately because we cannot extend every single player on this team, and the secondary is where we're going to make losses at. So we need to find a cheap free safety for the next 4 years. So I'm going to try and find it in this class in either Bishop or Lewis Moore. Finally, in round 7, number 241, I'm going to grab D-tackle Rayshawn Benny from Michigan. He's a good run defender for a 7th-round prospect. 4 sacks the last 2 years as well. He had a 7.5% run stop rate this year with an 86 run grade. He can rotate in, help Grady Jarrett as he ages. Just a shot in the dark and a 7th-round guy. But for a 7th-round prospect, he's shockingly a good run defender. I watched no film of Rayshawn Benny, so I'm a little confused why the grading is so good for him in both the NFL Draft Buzz and also in PFF. But for whatever reason, he's a 7th-round prospect, so it's a good shot in the dark for a guy. But entering the 2026 season, this will be my projected depth chart. At quarterback, Caleb Williams and Tyson Bagent. I'm sorry. I'm not believing anyone is trained for Tyson Bagent to be their starter. It's not happening. He's going to be there as a backup next year. At running back, Cal Monangai, Jonah Coleman, Roschon Johnson. At tight end, Colson Loveland, Cole Kmet, Durham Smythe. At wide receiver, big turnover. Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, Antonio Williams as a starter, with Jade Walker, Sterling Shepard, Caleb Douglas, and Marquez Valdes-Scantling as a backups. So you got size, you got possession, you got speed, you got route runners, you got slot guys. I really like this wide receiver core. Lots of different matchups you can make from those 7 guys. Offensive line, no starters changed from the offensive line. You have Theo Benedict, Joe Tooney, Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jackson, Darnell Wright with Audrey Trapillo, Graham Glasgow, Austin Corbett, Luke Newman, and Karan Amagdaji as the backups. So Audrey Trapillo, him and Theo Bennett could battle it out for left tackle, but Theo won it last year. I think he'd win it again this year. At D-tackle, you have Gervin Dexter, Grady Jarrett, Shamari Turner, and Rayshawn Benny. You only add Rayshawn Benny into the room. That's a really good D-tackle room. I like it. At edge, Montez Sweat, the addition of Trey Hendrickson, honestly, the biggest story of this offseason. Danny Dennis Sutton is a draft pick. Deo Odeyingbo coming back from that injury with awesome book of the draft pick last year. This edge room got insanely better. With Trey Hendrickson getting those, guaranteed 15 to 20 sacks a year. Then Danny Dennis Sutton adding in that 5 to 6 a year. I would really like this edge room if this is what happened. Then at linebacker, Noah Sewell steps into that Mike linebacker position with the exiting of Tremaine Edmonds. TJ Edwards as the opposite, the weak side linebacker. Aiden Fisher behind him, developing behind TJ Edwards. He is a little bit older as a rookie, but it doesn't matter. I think you can get TJ Edwards and Aiden Fisher playing really well together with Troy Reader and Ruben Hypolite as the backups. Then at corner, Jalen Jones. I do think Keith Abney would beat out Tyreek Stevenson for that starting job with Kyler Gordon in the nickel. Backups, you had Tyreek Stevenson, Zaw Frazier, Josh Blackwell, Marshawn Lattimore, and Terrell Smith. This team last year got battered at corner when it comes to suspensions, when it comes to injury. So I want to add Keith Abney as that round 1 guy, Marshawn Lattimore as the veteran. Then you still have Zaw Frazier for that you drafted last year, Tyreek Stevenson, and Jalen Jones. Then at safety, Jaquan Brisker as that starter at strong safety. Then whoever wins out between Bishop and Lewis as that free safety with Rayshawn Jenkins. Again, he is aged a little bit, so he's not as fast as he used to be at free safety. But I do think in a pinch, you could have him at free safety. But I do think he'd actually back up Jaquan Brisker as a starter at strong safety. So, yeah, I love this team. I think this could easily win the NFC. I think it's a great team that I built. You have great depth at edge that you improve on from last year. Corner gets better. Safety get more shots in the dark. The offense, you basically repeat, but you add in a better running back. You add in more wide receivers that can do more. I love it. I love this. I love this draft. I love this offseason. So I would definitely pick them to win the NFC right now. But if you guys enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this depth chart. How many wins do you think the Bears could have? I'm thinking like that 13 to 14 range. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. And I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.